You saw the title of the video. My name is Brian Sosak. I've been a professional leather crafter for 6 years and I grew up in a saddle shop. So I've been doing leather work for almost 10 years now. When I was in the saddle shop, I was able to interact with customers. My brother ran the shop, so we talked about stuff and he kind of helped me understand the inner workings of dealing with customers, right? So I wanted to talk about this because this pisses me off super bad. And it's when I see other craftsmen or artists or self-employed people post this meme or something to the effect of this meme right here. And here's what it says. This compares your $500 client to your $50,000 client. Your $500 client's a pain in the ass and says, I just feel as though with this investment I'm about to make in you that we should understand how our lives are about to change. And I need results and you need to bring them. And I'm entrusting you with our livelihoods and lives. And then the Chad $50,000 client goes, sent you the money, thanks. And now, I wanna just start out by saying I understand the sentiment. Basically what this meme is trying to say is you have your normal customers and then you have the occasional fucking millionaire customer where money is not an option. And the thing that pisses me off so badly is that this is like every business, every industry, every item that's ever been sold by anybody ever has this dilemma. So when people post this fucking meme, do you not realize that you are alienating and shaming your average fucking customer for not being millionaires? Like, it doesn't make sense at all for you to run your business. Like, let's say hypothetically, you have a business that sells $500 items and $50,000 items. Why would you waste the time trying to sell 100 $500 clients when your books are split down the middle and you can just have one $50,000 client? It doesn't make any fucking sense at all, right? You just wouldn't even service the $500 range. So what this meme is telling you is, hey, my average customer is a $500 customer, but they're fucking idiots and I would rather all my customers were millionaires. Like, don't you think everybody wants that to happen? Like, all you're doing is telling your average customer they're a fucking pain in their ass because they spent their hard-earned money. Because let's also face it, folks, most people where money is tight are either the less fortunate or blue-collar average people who are trying to survive and live comfortably. Everybody in this country is fucking struggling. I don't know any average family who's not talking about the price of groceries, the price of gas, how they're getting taxed, how this, that, and the other is making life harder to live. It is inflation. We're going through almost the most craziest time of inflation in history right now. So everybody is struggling. Even your $50,000 client is feeling that. They still also have to say, well, it's just the cost of living these days. It's common knowledge, you guys. And let's say hypothetically you have a person who's so wealthy that they don't feel the inflation and the cost of living going up everywhere, and they decide to shop with you. Don't you think everybody wants to fucking sell stuff to billionaires because money's not an option? Don't you think every Chevy dealership, instead of people coming in and buying the base model, whatever, Chevy Cruze or whatever the fuck it might, don't you think Chevy wishes everybody wanted to buy a fully fucking loaded Cadillac Escalade instead of like being a normal person trying to live normal lives with normal income? Like, it is so absurd. Like, the hard thing is I understand it. And to be honest, there's a little bit of truth to this meme. Like, people who are so wealthy, money is not an option, they don't have to really give a shit about tossing their money away or spending a bunch of money because money is not an option and they're that financially stable. But the average person, maybe this $500 they're about to spend is the one fancy thing they get to do all year long. We get to make, you know, for my husband, I'm gonna do something really special for him and spend a quarter of a paycheck or half of a paycheck on my husband to give him a gift. Or, hey, it's my daughter's 16th birthday. Hey, instead of taking her to Disneyland or fucking the beach or whatever, we're gonna spend our $500 of hard-earned money on something really special and really nice. And I want you to make her something that's gonna last forever. Because money doesn't grow on fucking trees. Like, when I see people post this meme, I instantly think of just immaturity. And it mainly comes from people who are new to being self-employed or new to craftsmanship. I mainly deal with crafters, right? So most of the time it comes from people who are like 2 years, 3 years in, where they work their ass off for 2 or 3 years, and then they're all fucking entitled to have millionaire customers, as if the people who've established themselves for the past 10, 15, 20 years don't deserve better clients. So what they'd rather do, instead of just putting in the fucking time, they'd rather sit and bitch and complain, well, millionaire customers are so much easier to work with. No shit, rich people have more money. Are you bitching and complaining that rich people have more money and they're more comfortable with spending large sums of money? Like, the craziest part of this, and because I'm a leather crafter, I'm gonna talk in terms of leather crafting. There's probably, let's say, 10,000 leather crafters who do it professionally for a living. There's probably 10 that would be considered wealthy, right? We might not have back-breaking fucking blue-collar jobs digging trenches, but nobody in the leather crafting game is fucking super well off. There's anomalies. In fact, just like I said, there's a couple $50,000 clients who do leather crafting for a living, but most everybody is a $500 client. So your ass, who is the $500 client, is now shaming all the other $500 clients. Do you see how fucking stupid it is? My blood is boiling right now. As I was saying, this normally comes from people who wish they were farther along, because what happens as you grow and as you continue to build your business, you get more of these $50,000 clients, more of them and more of them and more of them, which this doesn't even make sense. This shit doesn't make sense. Really, on the scale of all the millions of businesses out there, do they service $500 clients and $50,000 clients? That, whatever that business is so rare. It's maybe 1 in 100. And the dumbest thing is that this whole fucking deal, you get to a point where those $500 clients become $1,000 clients, and that $50,000 stays the same. And then you might go from 1,000 to 2,000. And then the scale, this giant gap, because you're a beginner and you don't have a fuckload of customers, this example rats on yourself that you only have so many customers. You got one way the fuck up here and mainly everybody else down here. As you build and grow, the scale moves and this gap closes until you finally settle in to what your reasonable price range is. You might have an occasional billionaire who shops with you, but I don't know, man. It really just shows you not being seasoned enough to understand basic ass economics and have a very simple understanding of the world around you. Like, if you're so pissed at $500 clients, why don't you just fucking stop taking $500 clients? Oh yeah, because $500 clients are your fucking bread and butter. So why make them feel like shit? You can change these numbers. This could be 20 bucks. You think that the person who is having a hard time spending $20 because they're so tight on money, this $20 is a huge deal to them? You think they make that decision lightly? Don't you think that a person would want to be able to just go, here's 20 bucks, here's $500, here's $50,000 to be? You don't think that those people want to be in a financial situation where those things aren't such a big deal and they want to make sure that they're happy with the fucking giant chunk of money that they're setting aside for you to support your business, to support your dreams, to support your goals. This $500 client who's making sure that they're happy with it, this is probably half a paycheck. This is probably a quarter of a paycheck. This is probably a substantial amount of money where this person who doesn't give a fuck, this $50,000 is less of a fucking drop out of their massive bucket in proportion to the top guy. If you still think this way, keep posting this meme and watch what happens. I don't give a fuck. In my shop, I don't even do orders less than $100, but I do $100, $150 items all the time. You bet your ass, those people get the same quality customer service as the people who drop $3,000, $4,000, who go, fuck it, I'm ordering all my Christmas gifts from you. We're gonna spend $4,000. Because guess what? That $500 customer or that $100 customer knows the same amount of people as that $5,000 customer does. And if you want to be an asshole to your low spenders, they're going to tell everybody that you're an asshole to them, and you're going to lose out all that opportunity. And again, they're the ones who run your fucking business. If they were such a pain in the ass and you hated them so much, you wouldn't fucking offer a $500 service. You should be fucking grateful that you make art for a living. You get to work from home or some shop that you own where you can make your own hours, where people admire your work, your craftsmanship, your art, and they want to spend their hard-earned money on you because they like you and your work and your art. So why make them feel like shit?